Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Brian. For those of you who don't know, I am the missionary for Third Coast Ministries, and I am currently teaching in Motacapa, Nicaragua. We just finished up our second week of school here, so I just kind of wanted to make a video to give everybody an update on kind of how it's been going so far. Today is Saturday, February 17th. It's about 9 p.m. Central Time, and one of the big things that we got accomplished this week is the Dunhams had an idea, since we all taught 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade English at the same time, that we could divide the primary grades just like we divided the secondary grades into basic, intermediate, and advanced. And so it was right before class was starting. They're like, hey, we need a test. So we cranked out a test real quick. We got everybody tested, and then on on Friday we were able to actually get them separated into their new classes. And so it's pretty cool. I had a couple kids that, I mean, they're native speakers, so they jumped up to advanced immediately, but I had 8 students that are 3rd grade jump up to the intermediate level classes, so that was pretty exciting. They were kind of sad. They were like, oh, Mr. Baker, but I was like, hey, it's good. I was like, you moved up, that's good. I was like, felicidades en tu promoción de clase de inglés a intermedio. They're like, oh my gosh, a promotion, a graduation. So it was fun. It was cool. Some of the kids were just kind of like, but I'm like, hey, if you can't explain why you think you should be moved up in English, then that's a pretty good reason why you shouldn't be moved up. So that was difficult. It was a big step. It's the first time it's been done here at the school. So hopefully it helps when we get similar levels together, because I had a pretty good range. I had kids that can understand what I say and do what I ask them, and I have kids that don't know any English in 3rd grade. So that was good. Another thing that I learned is the regular 3rd grade teacher has this like stop sign kind of on the wall, and obviously I don't have one to show you. I don't know why I pointed back there, but so it's got a green light, yellow light, red light, and on the green light it's got clothespins with all the students' names on there. And when they keep misbehaving, just grabs the pen, puts it on the yellow, and that's like discipline, notifying the parents or something like that. And the kids are scared to death of that stoplight. And so we were using her classroom to do the test on Thursday and to divide everybody up on Friday. And a lot of the kids, it was different. You know, we're trying to have them all sit down, and I know it's very difficult for the kids. They're like, what's going on? Why are we in this classroom? Why are we not in the other classroom? I know it's hard to mess around, to change around things on little kids like that, and they just kept misbehaving. So I just grabbed the name, put it on the yellow. They like set up immediately and got like did not talk the rest of the class, and you know they didn't talk the rest of the class. So I explained to the teacher, and I put the clothespins back on the green light. But now I'm going to make one for my classroom, and not immediately right now, but I'm going to have a video about making that. So should be pretty cool. Hopefully it works pretty well. I had to get on to my 8th and 9th grade students because they were laughing at each other when they were trying to speak and having a hard time. So I gave this big lecture about why you shouldn't laugh, you know, and how it would be for me, like if I was speaking Spanish to somebody and they were laughing at me because, you know, my mistakes, or, you know, not stuttering, but like stopping and like, you know, like I wouldn't speak Spanish to them anymore. Like I just wouldn't talk to them anymore. Like it's not cool. It would hurt my feelings. So gave this big lecture, and everybody understood, everybody's on the same page, and the very next kid that stands up, his zipper's down. So he's up there, his zipper's down, kids are trying so hard not to giggle, and like I noticed they're giggling, I noticed his zipper's down, and it makes me giggle, and I was just like, I just gave a lecture on not laughing, and now everybody's giggling. But he's a good kid. He made it through, looked down, was like, zipped up his pants and went and sat down. I don't know the phrase in Spanish. I know in English it can be like your barn doors open, or XYZ for examine your zipper, but I don't know in Spanish. So that was that. The AEP class is going pretty cool so far. Last week we originally were scheduled to not have school because it was a birthday for the city of Matagalpa, 156 years, I think. But the Ministry of Education ended up saying, yes, there is school. So luckily, we got to have class. Unluckily, I didn't have a super good plan for it. So what we did, we talked about fear, being afraid, are you really ever alone? If you're alone, are you really alone? And in the context of thinking outside the box and being creative and being able to make mistakes and not being afraid to make them, and thinking outside the box. So we did the IQ test where you have the 9 dots. I'm gonna draw real quick, like that. And you have to connect all the dots. You can only make 4 lines. You can't lift your paper. So it was to show that you have to go outside of the box to kind of solve problems every now and then. And it was really cool. I got to show the graduation speech by Denzel Washington, and the kids really liked it. I was able to find all these videos on YouTube with Spanish subtitles. So if you're looking for something, I tried to save them all on the Third Coast Ministries YouTube channel. I made a playlist for AEP. So if you're interested in watching the videos, you go to YouTube, Third Coast Ministries, and there should be a playlist called AEP 2018, I think. You can find them there. I also showed a C.T. Fletcher video and a Greg Plitt video. If you don't know who those guys are, they got tons of videos on YouTube, pretty inspirational. Some of the videos kind of have some foul language, so you have to watch out for that, obviously, especially if you're going to show it in class. But the ones that I have on that channel, they're all edited. There's no bad language, so if you want to use them, share them, go for it. Another thing, oh man, yesterday after school, I played soccer on the concrete court. They call it the concha for field. Oh my gosh, I'm so sore today. I woke up, I felt like I was 200 years old trying to get out of bed, but it was fun. I did some stretching, drank a lot of water today. I feel a lot better, but it was a lot of fun to get out there and play soccer. I really enjoyed that. And another good thing for the week is today I successfully took the bus to the city, navigated everywhere I needed to go walking wise without getting lost, got back on the bus and made it back with no mishaps. So that's a big first for me. Give myself a round of applause because it's been a month and that's the first time I've been able to do that. Oh, and another thing that's pretty neat is last Wednesday I was doing some boxing exercises and then the concha. And the concha, if you haven't seen my other videos, it's a concrete field. It's got a big cover over it, and it's got a wire welded fence going around it to keep soccer balls and volleyballs from flying out. It's the one where I fixed the net. If you haven't seen that video, it's on the YouTube channel. Check it out. And so the lights, there's lights for it, but the lights aren't on at night. I don't want to waste electricity, but there's enough lights from some of the main school buildings that you can kind of see what you're doing. So I was out there just, practicing boxing drills, just had music playing, had my headphones on, doing pretty good. And then the power cut, and apparently the power cut for the whole city. And when I say it was dark, it was dark. Like I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face at first. Luckily I brought a flashlight, whipped out the flashlight real quick. It was kind of like, hey, what's going on? Because anytime that happens in a movie, it's never a good thing. So that was pretty cool. Just talked to the security guards for a while that night, and then went back home, and it was cool. It was a whole conversation in Spanish. With I use my phone every now and then, like, oh, look at my phone, look a word up, go back to talking, and it works pretty well. So it was a good week. I'm pretty excited. It's only the second week of school. But we got everyone divided up as far as English classes. They're really good. I'm going to do some separate videos focusing on the AEP course and the elective classes that I'm teaching, just to give you a little more in-depth look at the teaching aspect, which is the whole reason for being down here, is for teaching. So if you haven't linked up with the ministry yet, on Facebook, it's Third Coast Ministries, all spelled out, no punctuation, no spaces. You can find us that way. Instagram, YouTube, same thing, Third Coast Ministries. On the website, thirdcoastministries.org. If you go to the /contact page, my email's there. There's different ways to contact us. We have links up for projects that I'm trying to work on. So, feel free to drop me a message anytime if you're interested in coming down or you're interested in teaching somewhere in you're like, oh man, what's it like? Because I got a lot of stories about things I wish I'd known before I left. So, you know, if you need some wisdom on that, please let me know. I'll be glad to share that with you. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you're having a good night or morning or whatever time of day it is when you're watching this. And I'll see y'all later. Thank you.